me, oh my! Look at that fish!
What is up? Welcome to the Smalley Talk podcast. This is your host, Josh Shrenko, and on the other end of the interwebs, Christian Vaughn. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Was that
I
awkward?
let you do the. No, I let you do it. Josh was like, "We always do these awkward introductions. Do you want to do it?" I was like, "No, let's just keep doing the awkward ones." I like it.
It's what keeps us all in, man.
Yeah, dude. We're here. Mid-February. We're in the death throes of disgusting winter, dude.
I feel like we're at the end of it, dude. It's got to be.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of poking through. You can starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will.
By the way, I heard somebody made fun of our intro song. It was like one of those. It was like somebody was
the intro song.
We weren't a part of this. Yeah. So we weren't a part of this conversation. It was a conversation on social media that was going on without our. But I happened to see it because someone was like recommending our podcast on a thread or something, and they're like, "Yeah, Smalley Talk's really good if you can get past the intro." And I was kind of like, "What's wrong with our intro? Is it like?"
I wonder if they meant I wonder if they meant the beginning of the, like the way that you talk, or were they talking about the song?
Probably. Remember
I will say this: the intro song was carefully curated, and by carefully curated, I mean it was the first choice on a royalty-free website.
We didn't spend a ton of time on it, but it's stuck. And there's a clip from a really awesome
say stuck
movie,
around me, dude. Don't say stuck around me, dude.
You like, yeah, Chris might have to go use the restroom, dude, if we start talking about getting stuck.
Don't you dare, dude. Not in 2024.
I also remember early on from our podcast, we were getting all kinds of we were getting the like reviews, and like we were reading all of them. I haven't even checked our reviews in a while.
We haven't had a lot. Yeah.
And I remember every once in a while we get one where somebody's like, they just did not like our thing, and somebody said that I clicked, like I like did some kind of thing with my lips all the time, and I've been paranoid about it ever since. Every time I'm talking, I'm watching like a video of myself. I'm like, God damn it, I do that. I smack my lips.
You like get into your car after a business meeting and you're like, "You lip clicking bitch."
That's all they were hearing, dude.
Idiot. I kept clicking my lips through that whole meeting. Oh my God.
I know. Must be bad.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. People are nuts. We're living in a crazy world. But we did, the reason we're recording the podcast today, it's Super Bowl Sunday. But we wanted to, there's a little lip click right there. Now you're in my head. There's a little bit of a little window breaker, if you will, of a reason to record today's podcast. Last weekend, Josh and I had the good fortune to get out and do a little bit of fishing together. And what a day, dude. What a day. Almost removed the hazy, disgusting sadness that accompanies winter. I mean, that's how good it was.
I feel like it was really good, and I wouldn't have traded it for any other day, but it was such a weird day. Like,
yeah, I was trying to explain that to my brother. It wasn't an amazing day of fishing by any means, other than 4 really good ones.
I think that the 4 fish that we caught pretty early, because it was probably 9:30 or so when we caught them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was early enough where I was like, okay, like we're gonna like round this day out. It's gonna be amazing. And this was really the first area we kind of stopped in, and we were like, dude, we have like 10 other prime spots to go to. And I don't know if it was like for me, if I kind of stopped fishing hard because I'd caught that fish or like what it was, but we just couldn't. I mean, you did catch what, maybe like 3 18s after that,
Three or
something like
four,
that.
yeah, three or four 18 and a halves, something like that. But
Yeah,
okay, so we'll just kind of start from the beginning. It was a very cold, it was like 30, maybe 30 degrees, mid 30 water temperatures. Um, kind of sunny day. It was projected to be really sunny.
but it
Ended
never
up
it got
it
sunny
never
at
really
like 2
materialized.
o'clock.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
never
like
really
2 o'clock.
materialized the way it was supposed to. So,
Right.
but we've got water in all of our systems right now, which is, you know, uh, pretty nice because we've been
Oh, yeah.
so low for so long. So, Josh and I've been kind of it's kind of the day we've been really waiting on, honestly. We've been waiting on it since last winter when we had plenty of water in our system, a nice sunny day, where the river's been somewhat steady for the last few days, where all of our rivers have been either steadily falling or steadily rising or whatever. So the day finally arrived, just so happened to be on a Saturday when we could find our way out. And, we got out. It was cold, real cold, no sun, stayed real hazy and foggy all day, and the water was so up that really kind of the spots that we typically hit in our winter program looked a little different. It's probably the second or maybe the third highest
Oh
I
me,
think
oh
that we've
my.
fished,
Look
maybe
at
in the
that
winter. I
fish.
think that's probably right.
We definitely fished higher. It really didn't even feel high, but it was
It was
full.
high.
It was like good high. Like,
Yeah, it was not flood stage, but it was definitely 75th percentile or higher. So it
yeah,
was
I would agree.
it
Yeah.
it was on the higher end of what we typically see even for this time of year. So the spots looked a little different. We were definitely expecting the fish to be tight, up against the bank and tight, the pushed up into the most protected areas of the eddy, especially because it's not only was the water high, but we're also coming off of, fairly consistent cold snap. So,
Mhm.
we're expecting the fish to be kind of hunkered down, low and slow in like the most protected areas that they can find. Um, so obviously we go to our most consistent one of our most consistent spots right off the bat. Um, and where we expected to find them, we caught maybe two fish, I think, maybe three. None of them big at all.
Mm.
Moved around, a little bit and ended up kind of recognizing that because the water was so much higher than we're used to, that there were some eddies, that normally wouldn't be there or normally wouldn't be there wouldn't be enough water there to make an eddy or it's just not something we really had ever recognized before. So, we're kind of exploring. We're a few hundred yards away from our normal areas and we had been out there I think for about 2 hours at that point, and dude, just a hellacious probably 30 minutes of fishing, that definitely the best 30 minutes of fishing I think either one of us have ever had. But we kicked it off by um fishing right up against the bank. I mean, within like 4 or 5 feet of the bank, with a little bit of depth, probably 3 or 4 feet. Current, the seam was probably a good 12 to 15 feet mid towards mid river from where we caught these fish. And Josh started us off by catching a 21 and a half. What was that first one? 5.03 pounds, something like that.
502. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We had the scale, so we were weighing fish, and that one it was like it was big. It wasn't like the stomach wasn't like, crazy big, but it was like it'd been eating well.
I
And
thought it looked pretty big.
it,
Personally, I
it
thought it
was,
looked giant,
yeah,
but
it was big. It was just kind of like, dude, this could be 5. And there's been a lot of fish that we've weighed over the years in Indiana specifically, and just any river, that you like would swear they're going to go 5. And
mhm,
they don't want to touch 5, they're like 4.8 or 4.6 or whatever, especially 20s, you know. And this
yeah.
one was 21 and a half, and it was pretty thick for a river fish. And yeah, I got it. So I was stoked, dude. I was like, dang, I freaking caught a 5-pound, river smallmouth, legit. Got a video of the weigh and all that stuff, so we were pretty pumped. And then,
and we've one thing that we've really kind of added to our a couple of things that we've added to our repertoire. Some of them are good, some of them bad. But we added swim baits to our repertoire for this year, and that's really kind of been, since we added that in, like smaller swim baits. That's kind of what we've been sticking to. I would say we've caught some fish on, like on bottom with like a TRD or something like that, but most of them I think have been off of those little swim baits. That's one thing. That's a very positive thing that we've added on a football jig, or something like that. The other thing that Josh has been trying to experiment with is pure fluoro, and that's been a disaster, I would say. Despite the success we had, I think you spent 15 to 20% of your day just messing with like your fishing line. So,
dude, I went and spent $30 on a fresh spool of Sunline FC Sniper, because that's like one of the best, most recommended fluoros you can buy.
Was it 10 pound?
Yeah, 10-pound on a 2500 reel. There's really no reason why it shouldn't have worked. And dude, I was just fighting it all day. Like I was just getting like wind knot type of things. And dude, I was getting so mad. Like whatever. I don't even want to think about that. Needless to say, we're going back to the braid with fluoro leader, and we're not, experiment's over. It's
experiment failed. Yeah, he kept and then we were in the boat, and you kept saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to 8 pound. I'm gonna go." I was like, "Dude, just give it up. What are you?"
It's kind of a out of principle right now, but dude, I'm done with it for the time being. The next trip we go out, I'll have fresh braid, fluoro leader, So,
if anybody has any thoughts on Josh's experiment to go pure fluoro, send us a DM, dude. We're looking for your DMs. But anyway, so after the first one, we kind of, started off like, oh, okay, all right, we got it. We got something going. The drive was worth it, that kind of thing. And Josh and I are having a conversation about like, he goes, I just think that they top out in this river. I just don't think that they get any bigger. We've caught so many of these 21.5s. I just don't think they get any bigger. And I go,
dude, it was literally like,
I go, yeah, I think that they get bigger. I think that you're wrong. And about the time I got that out of my mouth, Josh goes, oh, I got another one. And is
that what I sound like when I set the hook?
It sounded like your vinegar strokes. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, I got a 20.
We need to pull that recording out of the pod, dude. Put that on.
I wish I had my camera. It may have even sounded more vulgar than that. Like, oh. Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. I mean, all I can tell you is that the people that live next to the river are probably like, they're back. The boys are back. There goes another Saturday morning. It's just some like 80-year-old woman sipping coffee, and she's just like, oh my god.
What are these noises coming out of that boat, dude?
The hooligans are back, dude. She's just just up there, just her hands shaking as she drinks coffee. But anyway, so literally, like, I mean, it couldn't have been more than 1 or 2 casts after that first fish. Josh hooked another one, and I don't know that it was right away, but it was about the time the fish started. We started to get serious about netting the fish. So maybe like a minute, 45 seconds to a minute later or something like that. I think it was kind of clear that like this is a pretty special one.
Yeah, and for the record, I don't blame you for this, but anytime you net a big fish for the other guy,
just be careful, because you almost fucked me over with your net job.
I did. You're right. I did. Yeah. But anytime you
zero complications with mine. I am a net savant, and don't you dare! Don't even attempt.
No, it's not
my netting. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not
Go
coming at
ahead.
you about your netting, but
Okay.
when anytime you net a fish for your buddy,
Uh-huh.
you're kind of like, all right, it's my turn now. And if they catch another big one, it's almost like this, like, do you really need it netted? Sort of thing. Like you're continuing to fish,
Okay.
and I was like, oh, this is big, and you're kind of like, you were in the back of the boat doing
I hadn't
none of
even
your
gotten I
time.
haven't even gotten to cast. I hadn't even
Yeah,
taken a cast since
and
your last
you were
fish.
kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever. And then I was like, no, dude, this is big. And you like looked, and you're like, oh shit, you like went and got the
Yeah.
net. But yeah, dude, I thought I was stuck in a tree. Like I
Yeah.
hooked it, and I was like, oh damn, and then it like started to move, and I
Mhm.
was like, dude, whatever that is, that's freaking huge. And then it came up with smallmouth, and it for a winter fish, it gave up a pretty good fight.
Yeah. It
It
was a good
was
fish, man.
yeah, it took me around the other side of the boat. I think we netted it on the other side of the boat, if I remember right.
We did, yeah. We netted
Yeah,
on the current side.
it took me around the front of the boat, and yeah, I saw it. But when you're talking about 21 and plus inch fish, it's hard to tell until you actually get them in and you see it. It's hard to tell how big, but it was like I knew it was at least as big as the last one. So, that's not something you want to, take lightly. And Chris nets it, and puts it on the floor of the boat.
Flawlessly.
Yeah,
Flawlessly,
he
I might
did. He
add.
did flawlessly.
Uh,
Nets it, puts it on the floor of the boat, and we both were kind of like looking at each other, like not really saying much. And I just all I could say was, "Did I just catch a 23-inch smallmouth?" And he was like, I don't know. He's
yeah,
like,
it
I
was
don't know.
uh, we've definitely, like, a couple times over the years have been like, we've been fooled by a 21.5 or something, and the other person is always, like, very quick to be like, "No, not even you're not even in the neighborhood." This is the first time that someone's been like, "Did I just catch a 23?" Where you're like, "Maybe. I don't know. It's pretty damn close if it's not." And,
Yeah,
anyway, so we ended up putting this one on the board and 22 and a quarter. So, new
dude, it
personal
was
best. Pretty
jeez.
phenomenal pretty phenomenal fish, man. I mean,
We
just
have a video of me weighing it, which is a
mhm.
funny video because it was like I was like disappointed because it was like I put on the scale and it was like 4.2 or something. I was like, what the hell? It's like, well,
This one's
you
not
know,
even as heavy as the last one.
I know. And Chris is like, you dummy, you're setting it on the whole tail of the fish was resting on the bag where my tackle was, and I like lifted it up, and it was 5.6.6. I went back and watched the video. Was
Yeah.
like the highest it hit. Which that's about what I expected. It was like, okay, the last one was 5.02. Like this one was definitely bigger. And so I,
I was
that
surprised it was that much heavier because I did think the 21.5 was thicker for sure. And
it wasn't
yeah, I
as
mean, I was
tall. It was just had more of a gut on it than
yeah,
that
but
fish.
an amazing fish, biggest smallmouth I've seen lengthwise in person. So biggest Indiana smallmouth that I've seen for sure. Um, yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
I've seen it. I've definitely not seen a heavier or longer
you caught
Indiana
one.
smallmouth.
You caught a 20. I think it was just 21 during winter, and that one we didn't have a scale. I feel like that fish was probably about the same weight because it
I
was
don't know.
like gorged. That fish was like just
I
like
don't know, dude.
blown out.
You're starting to get into a 5 pounder is like rarefied air, in Indiana. A five and a
Oh
half
yeah,
pounder, you're talking about. I mean, though there are very few of those caught in Indiana year after year. I mean, like, all year there may be, of course there are some that we don't ever hear about or whatever, but that'll probably be the biggest smallmouth that we hear about, like in our circle, in our orbit. So, it's unusual. I mean, 5.6 it's unbelievable. 22 and a quarter. I mean, it was an absolute giant trophy
it was
smallmouth. It
old
might
too, dude.
I mean, think about like how many thousands of smallmouth you've caught over the last, just say 10 years. Over the last 10 years, thousands and thousands and thousands of smallmouth. That's that's the biggest one, and that might be the biggest one for the next 10 years. Especially out of a river in Indiana, that that very well could carry you through the next 5 or 6, maybe 10 years. So yeah, dude, truly a special fish. He called his wife right afterwards. She had zero, like, he's like, Josh goes, babe, we did it, babe. It was like you just won the heavyweight championship. We did it, honey.
Dude,
She was like, she goes, her next words were, what time are you gonna be home?
Basically. I'm getting a replica right up. That's gonna be the spot in the corner for it. So
right next to
yeah,
okay.
I already got it in the works. So already
like,
sent
are you getting it made like
and...
like that one? You're getting it made like that one, like the wood one, or are you getting like an actual replica?
No. We're getting a full on, mount. So, and I might get, I don't know if I'll do the bait that I caught it on. That'd be kind of cool to get that bait in the mount. But there's a guy I think he's out of Tennessee. His name's Jimmy Lawrence, and he came highly recommended for smallmouth. I've looked at some of his fish he's done, dude, and they're ridiculous. So smallmouth,
yeah,
he's done.
Well, you obviously don't need a replica because we kept that one and just
yeah, we ate it for dinner.
we kept it and ate it, so it tasted so good. Tasted like years and years and years of experience. So
yeah,
no, dude, it was truly an amazing fish. We went on. You could check it out on Instagram Live, our Instagram, Smalley Talk Podcast, all one word. We have a video that we took right after he caught it, and yeah, it was pretty fun, man. It was one of those, like, usually I think, I'm saying I'm so happy for you through gritted teeth, like Derek's joke. I'm so happy for you. Nah, it was for real. It was it was pretty freaking awesome. So, especially to come, like, right in the middle of that conversation, where we're talking about, I don't think they get any bigger than that. And then just the river just being like, yeah, they get bigger than that. Check it out.
There's that. Yeah, we've seen one on a tape measure of 23. It was quite a ways away from that fish, but same kind of watershed. So they're in there, man. It's, we were talking on the boat, and we're kind of like, I don't know if this is true or not, but like in 5, 6, 7 years, we might look back and be like, man, this was like, we had him dialed in the, whatever, for whatever reason, pressure, fish population, whatever. Like, this has to be as good as the winter fishing gets there, I would imagine. Like, this era.
It can't get much better. Yeah, it can't get much better, dude. We're just sort of, it's almost one of those, like, situations that you just know can't last forever because it's that good. And one thing I noticed too is we're not catching a lot of 19s. We're not catching, we're catching a few 18s, but, like, not a lot of 19s. We're catching a lot of 21s, like a crazy amount of 21s, which kind of is the next thing I caught. So right after that, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, I caught a 21, 21
It
a
was,
quarter, actually.
yeah,
So
I think I have it on the board as 21 and a half. I don't think you got that picture, but yeah,
yeah.
it was very close to, it was like
big.
between 21 and a quarter and 21 and a half.
I think it was like 487 maybe, or something like that. It was pretty
Dude,
big.
that fish, that picture freaking looked like giant, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a good picture.
It was huge. Yeah, see here.
It just wasn't quite as long as the other two. You caught the two biggest by length and by weight on the day. But then after that, like another 20 minutes later, I caught a 20. So yeah, dude, pretty phenomenal morning. But then, like, after that, I think I maybe caught 15 more. Josh maybe caught 5 or 6 more, something like that. Just kind of a slow rest of the day. Honestly, it was, we fished until about 2:00, and maybe caught 20 more, maybe. And I mean, we fished.
You know,
I felt like we fished pretty hard, personally. But
there's like multiple spots that we have, and there's a couple that have been pretty reliable over the years, over the past probably 3 seasons. Yeah, and the last couple times we've been there, those kind of, I would call them A- spots, because they're not quite, A+, but they're A- spots, and they just haven't fished that well. And I don't. Last year, I was looking back at some of my photos, and like we were winter, like quote unquote winter fishing until basically mid-March last
Yep.
year.
Mhm.
And I wonder how that fishing is going to look here in about 3 weeks, if it's going to be better. I do know this.
Punxsutawney Phil gave us an early spring, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
I'm counting on. I threw away all my winter stuff. I tied on spring stuff already. The groundhog is spoken, dude. It's over. So
That'd be pretty cool, but I still think I don't even know if it's a water temperature thing, or if it's just like a, time length of day, or, whatever. But yeah, I think we still have about a month left of like, or maybe 3 weeks left of like where you can go to those winter spots and find, or at least, if they're not in like the like deep kind of real like mud on their belly winter spots, they'll be in the seam next to the winter spots. And
right.
then usually about a week or two of that, then they're just like gone. And it's weird how it happens, but they just leave, and you got to chase them. So.
It is weird, but I don't think. Oh, so okay, so total on the day, what was our total 5 fish limit? It was over
So this
103 inches.
this is with an 18.5 as their bottom fish, which isn't, dude, I've never thought an 18.5 looked so small in my life, by the way.
I
You caught
caught
an
that
18.
I caught the 18 and a half, and one of my one I caught several that were like right there. And the one that we ended up measuring, because we threw 2 back without even taking photos of them, because we're like, we caught 420s like right away. So we're thinking, oh my God, we're gonna have a day here. We're gonna catch 3 or 4 more 20s or something, but it never really materialized. So the last 18 I caught, we took a photo of it, and dude, it looks like there's nothing impressive about that fish at all.
Yeah, it was crazy, but it was 103. So if we count yours at 21.5, which I'd have to look back at my pictures. I'm pretty sure we got the hit. Like, it might not have been like mouth jam shut, but it was like pretty close. If that's a 21.5, it's 103.75. If it's 21.25, which is 100% it was, which would be 103.5. Either way, that's the best day we've ever had. So
It's good. It would be tough to beat, I think. Honestly, I think it's going to be tough to. I think it'd be tough for anybody to beat that in Indiana.
By the
personally.
way, I do want to say this. True to our word, I posted board picks and scale picks, because I always say, like, if you catch one that's like,
Did you?
I posted
Of
on
your
Instagram.
of your 22. You're not. I
Yeah,
didn't see you
yeah.
post one for all of them.
No. I'm not even saying for our day. I'm just saying that's like a fish. Like a 21.5 is huge, don't get me wrong, but we've caught probably 10 of those on that
Yeah.
stretch of river. So it's like we've that's not a fish you'd be like, "Oh my God, I just caught one like, a month ago or 2 months ago, whatever."
Yeah.
But that 22.25 is my personal best. And like I always say, like, we rail on guys for like claiming these like huge fish, but like,
You rail on them. I don't
hey,
really
I'll
care.
continue. And some of them are guys I care, because here's the thing, like, those fish are special, man. And like every quarter inch counts with those fish. So it's like, if you claim that you caught, let's say a 22.5, it's like, dude, you got to post proof. You can't just be like, because here's why: your 22.5 may be legit, but for every 22.5 that's not legit, there's some, redneck guy that caught a, smallmouth that was 19 inches and says it's 24 inches. So it's like,
I get it.
that's
Yeah.
what separates, guys that are serious about it and guys that are just kind of running their mouth. So, hey, true to my word, we posted scale, and we have a scale video, but it shows too much of the like area we were in, so I wasn't about to post that. But I posted a screenshot of us, taking the video. So, but anyways, yeah, pretty awesome day, dude. I mean, really, you caught a 21 and a half and a 20 after I
18
caught
and a
those
half.
two.
Yeah.
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 And it's like, dude, we were kind of like, oh my God, like we both were like, dude, it's just a matter of time before we get another 20. Like, it's not even going to be hard. Like, we just have to keep doing what we're doing. And I
I'm
think
kind of
both of us
glad we didn't, honestly. I'm kind of glad we didn't. I feel like
give some
it
room.
makes it, yeah, it makes it possible that we'll at least get that again. We'll at least have the opportunity to get, because I mean, I've caught over 102 inches by myself before. So like,
Mhm.
it's possible that we touch that 103
I will say though,
area
dude,
again.
for those who aren't convinced, winter time, dude. I mean, and we didn't have the
Wintertime
buddy heater out.
sucks. Stay
Yeah.
inside. Don't do it. It's not worth it. There are no fish.
We
Just
did
stay inside. Stay
we
warm.
did we did pull over on an island to eat some lunch, which this
Yeah.
year we tend to get like when we go fishing, we fish. We're like all fishing, and we don't take time to kind of stop and like smell the roses. I want us to do that more. I want us to like take the time to enjoy, because when we're out there, especially on days that are kind of slow, it's like those like stopping and eating lunch and talking, hanging out, like those are just as fun as the fishing to me. And I feel like we shortchange ourselves on that a lot. So this year I really want to be intentional with that.
Should we put the bait out? Should we name the bait, dude?
I've told some people, but on the podcast might be kind of dumb. I say let's not.
Okay.
Let's not put the bait out,
If you're
because
interested, shoot us a message. We'll probably tell
yeah,
you.
it is
We'll definitely tell you.
it is a very unique bait. I've never thrown anything like it up to this point. So,
Yeah, pretty awesome though, dude. I mean, as much fun though as the winter. I mean, we won't really see, like I said earlier, we won't see over 5-pounders probably. I mean, you can maybe, early April. We've definitely caught them before. I caught one on White River a couple years ago that was right there, over 5. But it's less and less likely the longer, the further you go into the year. And that's great. Like catching 5-pounders is awesome, but I'm definitely ready to like, get the ball rolling, have some action on the bait, have
oh yeah,
those spring days when they're jumping. I mean, I did have one fish jump, when
yeah.
we were out last weekend, but yeah, I'm ready for real smallmouth fishing, I guess.
I'm always ready for that first spinnerbait bite, dude. That's when I know it's
So
like,
much fun.
which you can catch them on spinnerbaits right now. There's no doubt.
It's just different. I'm
Yeah,
ready
it's
for like
different.
that first like one,
Flash,
yeah,
like,
one isolated boulder like in an eddy, and you just like crank a, whatever, have a game changer, right over the top of it, and fish comes out and T-bones it. I'm
oh
ready
yeah,
for that.
it's been a pretty, I'd say, mild winter. So I do think that's another reason that we've had success, is that we've had a lot of we haven't really had any freeze up. We had that one last season where it kind of river froze up, but it hasn't really frozen over. I mean, it was 36 when we got on the water. It was like probably
It froze
38 when we got
it
off,
froze over for like a week.
when it got super
Maybe
cold
like,
there.
yeah, like third week of January, it froze over for a week, but you
Yeah.
know, it has been very mild. I'm happy to see water in the system. I don't know how long the water that we've got in our system now will take us through. Because last year, but it's good to see the ground. I think the groundwater, the table's fully charged, probably.
Better. It's better
It's
than it
better.
was last year. That's for
I
sure.
mean, last year by like June, we were in
We're
low
out.
flows already.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, we can get some more, probably one more really big rain. I'd like to see the river just really get outside the banks, like maybe one more time, before
Mhm.
spring starts. But Yeah, dude, it's shaping up to be a pretty phenomenal year. The winter time stuff has been really good, and happy that we got to scratch the itch a little bit. So
Yeah, I would
we probably have
definitely
one or
can't.
two more trips in us.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna take my dad there at some point. Again, probably he caught a 20. It's like we did a trip in March. We had a really good day. It was one of the best days we've had up there. It was like first week in March, and then I took him out like the next week because I was like, oh, dude, they have to be. But I will say, we had I had 3 of our buddies go out over the last. One of them went Friday, the other one went Saturday, and
Struggled.
there was a 20 between all 3 of them, but that was it. So it was not what we experienced. I think that though it is like very windowy, like this time of year, you just get times where, and your inclination is like it's progressively getting warmer. It's going to be better, but and the fish might be more active from an eating standpoint, but they're not as predictable. I'm flow has a lot to do with it. You know, when the flow's up like this, it pushes them in certain areas. But it's weird. It was weird, dude. There were spots.
I almost think stability is better. Just stability over the course of like a week, I think
Yeah,
is, where the flows stay consistent, where the temperature stays consistent. And then if you get like a little pop of sun, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, that's my theory on it is
I expected those
consistency is
guys to
better.
crush it the last 2 days, and they just didn't. Which
Because it was 65 degrees 2 days ago. And then
there's
yesterday it was 55. So yeah,
there
I
is a
mean, that would make
spot.
sense.
Yeah, there is a spot in town that we haven't fished this winter that I would like to do after work one day. So, or during the workday, if you can.
I've got a jury trial that starts next week, so or not next
I'm
week, but the week after. So after that, I'm game. But yeah,
pretty
I've been
tied up
putting
during the
off
day.
so much stuff, dude. So if you guys are out there and you're listening to this and you're waiting on me for something, I'm so sorry, but I just been, yeah, it's been crazy. So anyways, dude, well, that's all. I did want to ask you about anything new in your box.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about a couple things real quick before
Oh, go
we
ahead.
head out. So, new in my box, I got a bunch of stuff new in my box. I've been kind of collecting stuff over the winter, but the most new stuff I got was at Achigan. We did our first kind of expo in Tennessee. It was I think it was when was it? The last week of January.
Mm-hmm.
Last weekend in January. For really, really cool. It was super awesome to see it. Really, we went there specifically, and I had a little bit of FOMO from the Columbus Expo this weekend. I'm not gonna lie, because we have a lot of people that follow our podcast and Achigan in Ohio, and we really should have done that one, but it just didn't work out. But we went to Tennessee specifically because we just don't have a huge listener base and customer base in that part of the country, and I don't know why, but I know it's big smallmouth country, so we were kind of like, hey, let's go here and kind of tap into some places that people don't know who we are. And dude, overwhelming response. Met so many people. Like, spread the wet boy gospel just absolutely the entire time we were there. It was really fun. But while I was there, obviously I emptied the pocketbook, and we went around, and I got some cool stuff. I got some stuff from let's see here. I got um a clutch swim baits. Hang on, I'm gonna grab it so you can see it.
He's about to clutch it.
Huh?
Said you're about to
So,
clutch it.
yeah, so this is a clutch. I'll pull out the bag here. Clutch swim baits. I think this is called the Eco. I think that's what they call it. It's a glide bait. Definitely gonna be pretty
What kind
sick.
of is that made out of plastic or what is that?
Resin. Yeah,
It's everybody's planet, but yeah, go ahead.
It's I don't get that joke.
That's just not good for the environment. But yeah, fine,
Oh,
whatever.
okay, gotcha. Is resin is like I
It's
don't know.
plastic.
It's not.
It's
Is
a petroleum-based product. Yeah.
it? Let's see here. These
I
are
don't think it's pine resin, is it?
no. These are kind of cool. So this is a jointed fluke. This is going to be an interesting bait to throw. It's made by River Rock Baits out of
Okay.
Virginia. So they're kind of specialized in smallmouth baits. And then some other cool stuff. I'm not going to go through everything, but ooh, this is actually going to be you'll like this. So there's a spinnerbait company there that makes it's called Battle Baits. I've seen them around, but I've never actually seen some. So this is the first I've seen. Look how big this freaking Indiana blade is, or turtleback blade.
That's a big blade.
Yeah, I've never thrown one this big. So this is like a muddy water type of thing. The guy was like, I was talking to him about all kinds of stuff, and he's like, dude, you got to try these out, because I was talking to him about throwing muddy water spinner baits. And then this is the one I was telling you about, Chris.
This is not good content, by the way. Nobody can see these things.
Yeah, they can.
Unless you're going to upload the video.
I post all of them. Okay. I post all of our podcasts to YouTube now, by the way.
Oh, great. I didn't realize that. I look like an alcoholic. I got like a loose bacon neck t-shirt here and a little beard going.
Yeah, check this out, dude. You're going to like this. Micro umbrella rig.
What do you think? Why the hell would you say micro? And like,
that's what it's called. It's a micro.
Like you're attacking. Are you attacking me?
No. Micro.
Hold it up a little higher.
Yeah, dude,
Hog farmer micro. That's a okay.
Dude. I'm telling you, that's gonna be something this spring we're gonna crush on. And then check this out, dude. So Accent,
an umbrella guy.
Accent made this. That's like that. Remember that little spinnerbait?
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, buddy.
That one's gonna eat.
I knew you would like that. Yeah. Then last thing I'll show you.
So you guys made a net profit of $0 on this.
Basically, yeah. Check that out, dude. Little Buka burrito swim bait. Tell me that ain't gonna be good.
Yeah, that's something.
Dude, this thing is gonna be killer, dude.
Does it have any hooks on it? Or are you going away from hooks?
Yeah, hook. I just like the feeling when the fish eats it, and then I just let him go, dude. I want to traumatize this fish.
Yeah, dude, that's one of my favorite news stories. If you guys haven't seen the news story about the guy that has fished for 20 years with a lure that doesn't have a hook on it,
pretty bad, dude.
Such a great story.
Wild.
Inspirational.
And then last thing, we'll do an episode on to launch it, but Smalley Games 2024 launches on March 1st. We got.
Does it have an Olympic theme at all?
Did you see it? Did you see the?
No, I haven't seen it.
Actually would have been a good idea, but Dustin did.
Only had an idea guy around, somebody that you could maybe text or phone call to. But whatever.
Hey, I didn't even get any input on that, but he just like dropped it and was like, "Here, this is what we're doing." So, it's a street art like graffiti theme. It looks pretty cool. You have to check it out. I put a sneak peek on Instagram today of the board. So, per usual, we're scrambling to finalize everything and get everything to print. A couple weeks out, but yeah,
is it going to be free this year?
No, it's going to be, we settle on, it's hard to explain, but $5 to sign up. So pretty
nice.
Cheap.
Yeah, that's cheap.
So, yeah, $5. We will do some sort of launch party probably early March. No arm wrestling this year. Tyler Atwell, no, not going to be goaded into freaking arm wrestling and screwing my shoulder up for 2 months. So, not doing that.
Such a great story.
But yeah, the launch party was sick last year. We had that was fun, dude. Like
it was really good. We need to get We need to actually book like a private room though this time because
Yeah,
there were families around us and we were F-bombing and arm wrestling and there was just families like out to eat with their kids, just like what
we
is going
should.
on?
We'll plan ahead. It won't be. We will probably won't do before the game start. We'll probably do. Probably try to do like mid-March, maybe something like that. But that'd be really fun, dude.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do it. So yeah, that's that. I just want to talk about that. Other than that, I'm looking forward to spring just like you are, dude. We're coming out of it. We're sitting outside soaking in some rays today. It was
Absolutely.
feeling good. We got the Super Bowl coming up. Who you rooting for? Who you rooting for tonight?
49ers.
Are you really?
I
You're
don't
rooting for
really
the
care.
49ers?
I just don't want the Chiefs. I feel like are the modern day Patriots. So I'm just rooting for the underdogs. I like Brock Purdy a lot. I like Christian McCaffrey a lot. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
What about? Are
kind of.
you going
I mean,
Chiefs?
if I had to put a gun to my head, yeah, I would pick Chiefs just because you just like I I feel like Chiefs are pretty likable. Andy
Yeah, I
Mahomes
don't
is
hate.
it
I don't really hate them right now.
Mahomes is starting to get a little unlikable, let's be honest. He's got some
He's a
issues,
winner.
family. Huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just like, yeah. Travis Kelce, the whole Taylor Swift thing's annoying. Andy Reid's a cool guy though. I'm really ambivalent though. I don't really care either way. I'm playing a Super Bowl Squares game tonight, so we'll
What is that?
chance to win some
Okay.
money.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of a cool thing, and my buddy invited me to do. So,
Very cool. Yeah, I don't really I don't really have like strong opinions about it. I don't know. I'm rooting for my son is a huge Kansas City fan, so we're also kind of rooting for the opposite teams just to make things interesting. So
you gotta like every time San Francisco scores, you just like get in his face and be like,
oh no, I don't do that. He does that to me every single time through the playoffs that the Chiefs have scored. He just gets up in my face and goes, "Oh yeah!" right in my face.
That's
I'm like,
hilarious.
dude, you were a little like, if you knew my son, that's so completely out of character. He's like the most quiet, nicest, sweetest kid in the world. Something like the last few months, he's been like really into football. So yeah, it's pretty funny. I just have to give it to him. Just have to let him
That's
have his
hilarious,
moment.
dude.
So,
I didn't know
yeah.
that. I'm gonna have to buy Henry some like Kansas City Chiefs
Oh yeah. Well, you should see our
memorabilia.
refrigerator. So he's also my son's a fantastic artist, like fantastic. Okay. So he drew like completely lifelike portraits of like Isaac Pacheco and Patrick
Did he
Mahomes
really? Oh my God.
to the point where my brother came over yesterday to like just to hang out or whatever. And he's like, "Is that Isaac Pacheco on your refrigerator?" I was like, "It is." I mean, dude, the kid he's a phenomenal artist, like
Hey, dude, I'm gonna have
phenomenal.
to
I can't even
recruit him,
believe it.
dude.
So,
I've been
oh
looking
yeah,
for a Chegan. If we do a kids line, that would actually be pretty sick. Not gonna lie.
yeah. I mean, he's very, very good. So I don't know. He has zero interest in fishing. So
Well,
whatever.
you
But
don't need to be.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't.
it's pretty cool, man. He's like, yeah, he's been really into it. So, oh, and the other thing is, he's playing basketball right now. I'm coaching his basketball team. So yeah, I'm big into the coaching thing, dude. I love it.
Who would you
It's
compare
so much
yourself
fun.
to? Are you a Phil Jackson or like Pat
Zen
Riley? Which one
Master?
are you?
No. I'm no Zen Master. I'm no Phil Riley. Let me think here. Who am I like? Which bat? I'm probably like I'm a Matt Payne.
Stan Van Gundy, dude. Stan Van Gundy.
I'm no Larry Brown. I'm no like perfectionist about the game. I'm a fundamental guy, for sure. Defense wins ball games. Matt Painter.
Did you
That's
just
me.
call Matt Painter, dude? Boiler up, dude. They freaking smoked IU last night. So
I know. I'm
yeah.
living my best life right now. My
Yeah.
Boilermakers are looking
So what
pretty
happens
good.
when
So.
you throw a 7-foot 4-inch center in there? Nobody can go.
Dude, he is huge.
He's massive, dude.
Yeah, if we don't run into another powerhouse buzzsaw that is Farley Dickinson or some other number 16 powerhouse, we're gonna go all the way this year. So,
Jeez.
yeah.
Well, yeah. So fishing wise, we got
Oh, yeah.
some trips. We got some trips planned. You know,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna try to get out with the old Randy Dog and the
Rand Demon.
Susky and Rand Demon, baby. And we got some other stuff. We still haven't locked in dates. By the way, we need to talk about that because I just locked in my family vacation last week of June. So we need to figure out when we're going on our regular trips. So, but yeah, man,
Yep.
that's all I have. You have any sign off you want to do? Anything you want to share?
I don't think so, man. Appreciate the opportunity to get out with you last weekend, and it's pretty special. I think getting to see the PB. So yeah, I mean PBs for us at this point. They don't come around very often.
Milestones,
So
baby.
yeah, it was
Milestones.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's time to get you one, dude. I'm gonna take a back seat.
Been trying for a while, so it's not for lack of effort, but yeah, man,
No,
appreciate you. Thanks everybody for listening, and as always, free the fighter.
free the fighter, baby.
No.